More changes than ever before are taking place in the world today. Different spheres have undergone transformations that have changed the norm and made adaptation necessary. The pace at which some of these changes occur is another issue. Those preparing students for the future and the government all over the world must adapt to this change in order to reform their educational system to meet up with best practices. The tasks are more severe in Nigeria, considering the current situation of its tertiary educational system. Tertiary education is a critical component of human development. It provides not only the skills necessary for the labor market, but also the training essential for critical manpower, such as teachers, doctors, nurses, civil servants, engineers, humanists, entrepreneurs, scientists, social scientists, and a myriad of other personnel. Nigeria's tertiary education system has gone through various stages, from the Elliott Commission of 1943 to the establishment of the University College Ibadan and the other first-generation universities, down to the establishment of the private universities and the National Open University of Nigeria of the present day. The federal government owns and operates about 43 universities and 40 federal polytechnics across the country. In this capacity, the federal government is responsible for providing infrastructure and organization, ensuring the welfare of academic and administrative staff, and providing for students' education, care, and well-being. This model has been in place for as long as our country has existed. It was a system that was effective initially, allowing Nigeria to invest in building universities reasonably considered contemporary to some of the best such institutions worldwide. However, as the number of federal government-owned universities has increased and the population of students exploded, quality seems to have declined. According to the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Professor Abubakar Rashid, our higher education system is in dire need of reforms. The challenges confronting the higher education system in Nigeria are alarming, and these challenges have over time watered down the quality of our higher education. As it is today, the information and knowledge economy currently serves as the main generator of income and job opportunities, displacing manufacturing and the extractive sectors. At the same time, globalization, technological advancements, and the flow of capital worldwide mean that nations are no longer protected from the international market by geography and space. Today's young Nigerians compete for jobs and investment capital with a global pool of talent from Tokyo to San Francisco and beyond. Yet, employers across all sectors bear evidence that many recent graduates of our nation's tertiary institutions are incapable of critical thinking, unable to write correctly, and lacking in the informed confidence that is a crucial requirement for success in the modern world. This is evidence of the tragic decline in the tertiary education system and a call to action. An education consultant, Jacqueline Samuel Odiadi, in a recent interview said, "From our records in education history, it is evidence that Nigeria was an education hub in the region, and indeed the continent. In the days of apartheid, and much long after, the education destination was Nigeria until recently, when the education sector became open to private sector participation and was in disarray. Parents, children, and wards had no choice but to seek quality education outside the shores of the country, with many negative, heartrending stories of Nigerian students in the diaspora. There have been many explanations offered for this catastrophic and rapid decline. Some have posited that the management of the universities and polytechnics are to blame. Others have argued that the culture of mediocrity and poor standards that afflicts many facets of our society also affects universities. There is yet a school of thought that the state of our universities is a consequence of a deliberate attempt by past military governments to destroy the tertiary institutions they perceived as centers of the pro-democracy movement. Whatever the cause, the consequences of this decline are apparent and troubling. Strike actions by the staff of tertiary institutions have become a recurring event. Protesting poor pay and working conditions is a clear indication that something is wrong with the system. Where once before our universities were rightly seen as research and development powerhouses, they become the opposite. Now the quality of teaching and assessment is questionable, and allegations of academic corruption, including sexual harassment and assault by lecturers and administrators, are recorded across most institutions. Other challenges put forward as being responsible for the state of the sector include poor funding, infrastructural decay, lack of political will, inconsistent government policies, corruption within and outside the system, obsolete curriculum, plagiarism, examination malpractice, and other vices, and of course, brain drain. There is a desperate need to review and overhaul every facet of tertiary education in Nigeria, including structure, funding, regulation, and access. Our nation's ability to participate productively in the new global economy depends in no small measure on the quality of education and training systems from primary through to tertiary. And this is a time to do what is necessary to safeguard the future of our young people and our country. So, welcome to the National Summit on Tertiary Education Reform with the theme, Reimagining Tertiary Education in Nigeria, Issues, Challenges, and Solutions.